Welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. Today, this is the third and hopefully final part of my 1/48 scale build of the Dead End number 13 kit by Petite Properties. If you've watched the first two parts, you will have seen how I put it together, how I've decorated it, and you will have seen what I've done with the ground floor room of my shop. Today we're going to be working on the first floor and the attic, and so let's get on with it. I've removed the front and the roof so that you can see the spaces that I've got to work with. This isn't ideal, but this is about the best way that I can actually film inside the property. And this is why, one of the reasons why I'm liking to glue things in place in the 1/48 scale houses. The other reason is the bits tend to be really small, and I have enough trouble when I'm making it, losing things. I don't want to lose things as I go along. So the first floor, that is going to be a bit of a showroom. I'm thinking this is the room where the more special pieces are kept. I've got this little display unit that I made previously, and that's sort of the kind of thing that I'm going for in here. This is a place where select customers are allowed to see special items. Now for the attic, I've got a couple of ideas, but I'm not 100% sure how that's going to pan out yet. I know what I'd like to do, but I'm not sure if I can make it work. So, that said, I'm going to start off by making some furniture. Now, if I move the house out of the way, I've got some kits that I've bought. Some I've bought for this, some are from the advent calendars, and I think I've shown you these previously, but I've got a glazed cupboard, I've got these display tables, not even attempting to pronounce it, I've got a little writing bureau, I've got the remaining dining chair, and then I pulled these out, which is a pair of card and chess tables, but I'm not thinking that it's going to be used for cards or for chess, but that is a possibility that I'm going to use that. Just a thought when that I'm considering for the attic. So it's time to start making these. As with the last video, I think I'm going to make the furniture off camera, because I've done a number of videos where I show you how to put these kits together, and it's not altogether the most interesting of processes. So I'm going to start making some furniture, and then I'll come back and show you how things are going. I have put together the furniture for the showroom, and that meant putting together the two little display tables. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name. I have no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced. And the corner cabinet. Now the corner cabinet, I'm not sure that I want to put anything in it. I've got it here. I've sort of opened the doors a bit. It's a nice little piece with its little gold feet. And when it's in the corner, it's not going to be particularly noticeable, I don't think, whether there's anything in there or not. I'm not sure about that at the moment, so we'll just pop that to one side. Obviously I did this little hexagonal display piece previously in a video, and I went to a lot of trouble. I put some fabric in the bottom so it gave it a nice background. Yeah, background sort of works. And then I made three pieces that I put in there. That's going to go in the centre of the room. And then I've got these two little tables. There's the table and there's the lid. The lid isn't stuck in place yet because obviously I want to put something in there. Now I think I'm going to put some more crystals into one of them, and I've got two little little gemstone chips. Yeah, chips sounds like the right kind of a word. That I think I'm going to put into this one. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue onto the back. Which side's the back? Which side do I like the best? Oh, decisions. It's a really pretty little bit of something. I don't know what it is. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what it is. And let's try and pop him down into there. It's going to look like a big old piece of crystal there. And then I'll see if I can get that one stood next to it. Now, the tweezers that I like using so much don't like holding the crystals because they're so shiny. But if I could put it like that, I suppose. So if you put it so that its flattest side is against the base of the display table. I'll just use the tweezers to move it around and make it stick up a little bit. There we go. Now, to finish this off, I just need to put some glue onto this and stick that onto the top. And there is a front and a back. The front corners are slightly curved. I haven't bothered making all the furniture on screen because you've seen me do that. You've seen lots and lots of times me making these kits up, and the kits are really easy to make. I highly recommend them. Petite Properties make some really awesome pieces in this scale. They do some pieces in 1/24th scale as well, but most of what they've got is smaller, and it's worthwhile doing. So that's going to be my first table done. The second table, which is here again with its lid, is going to have something a bit different. And what I've got is I've got a little spacer bead, I suppose it is, but it's one of these that you can fit against a bigger bead, so it's got a nice little leaf pattern. And I filled the hole with some glue, and I'm still waiting for it to go off completely. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hint of colour to the centre, so it looks like some piece that's got a gemstone in the middle of it. And then I'm going to put that into the other table. I think that's what I'm going to do anyway. So I'm going to wait for that glue to dry, and then we'll get that finished off and popped in the table, and the table finished off. I have just filmed a lovely little piece to the camera where I showed off what I've done with the little bead spacer and stuck it in place and then stuck the lid on. And the camera hadn't started recording. I am quite annoyed. There was rather a lot of interesting language, but I'm back now to show you it. I went with a purple colour ink, which hopefully you can see on the camera, and it's made this piece look quite formidable. Now, it's got to be something magical, some kind of artifact of some description. I'm not sure what, but I think it works in the context of this store. The top I've stuck on very carefully, putting glue on the back and the front edges, because I realised that the side edges are more visible than I thought they would be when I stuck the top on to the other one. But anyway, here's my little table now, all sorted and ready to be stuck into the building when I get that far. The more I got to thinking about it, the more I decided I wanted to put something in the corner cabinet. And I'm going quite simple. I've got one of those metal beads that I used in the last part in the main shop as a little jar. And I'm going to pop this on the top shelf. So I'll just pop a bit of glue on the bottom. And then we'll try and get this. Am I going to be successful with the tweezers? Maybe. Maybe not. Yep. Okay. That just adds a little bit of shine. And I can maybe leave the one door a little bit ajar. Not sure yet. And then I'm also going to use a little skull bead. Now these are beads that I use for various things in 1/12 scale, but they are too small for 1/12 scale skulls. This is about 8.5 mil high, which I'm not sure what that equates to in 1/48 scale. It's a giant skull if it's too big, you know. It's something that's done skull shaped. So I'm going to pop some glue on that, and I'm going to put this onto the middle shelf. Now these shelves are not very big, and I just managed to get the glue all over my finger. I'm not doing very well here today. And then we'll just pop him in there, and he is rather big fit in there, but hopefully, yeah. Even if I shut the doors, you can still make out that there's a little skull in there. And that just gives a little bit more detail. Now, after I filmed the last part, I had some suggestions that maybe I should add some pieces of art to the walls. I want to add one piece of art, and I'm sure I've got it around here somewhere, so I'll go and have a look at that. That is going to be my tiny little Gothic unicorn, which I'm including in all my builds. But I'm also going to include on the showroom wall this little Tree of Life charm. I've cut the loop off the top of it, and I'm just going to use some glue, and I'm going to stick that onto the back wall, I think. It won't be the most obvious of pieces, but it just starts to add another layer of detail. And I may, in the future, print out some of my witchy printables at a smaller scale, so they can look like posters in the shop downstairs. Not sure yet. I might see if I've got anything else already printed out that could be repurposed, shall we say, because something that's quite small at 1/12 scale will look like a big poster at this scale, obviously. So I'm going to go now and look for my unicorn pictures. I know I've got them around here somewhere, but yeah, my craft room, craft space is a complete and utter mess at the moment. And I can't see it getting any better in the near future. It will get better, I promise it will get better. There are plans, there are things afoot. But at the moment, I can't find anything. While I was hunting for the images of my little Gothic unicorn, I did find a couple of little pieces that can start with some wall art. This one is some kind of certificate by the looks of it. Certificates can come in all shapes and sizes, certainly in all sizes. So I thought that would work. And then I've got this one, which is actually an image from a 12th scale open book. And I thought that will do. I had to rescue them once. I sneezed, they disappeared off. The image of the unicorn I have punched out with a circle, just because I wanted something different, and I thought, well, if I do it as a circle, it's about the same size as the Tree of Life. They'll sort of look as if it's some kind of a plaque or something. And what I've done with that is I just went around the edge of it with a paint marker, which is nice gold. It doesn't show up too much, but it does sort of show that there's a bit of something around the edge. So these are going to get stuck into my doll's house, and I've got to decide where they're going to go, and then I've got to get the furniture stuck in. So I'm going to turn you off because my hands are going to get in the way, and then I'll show you when it's done. With these bits stuck in, I am now considering my showroom done for the moment, not necessarily done forever. I'm going to start off by showing you the shop again, where I have put a poster on the wall. It's at an angle because, well, it's ended up like that, and they don't really care. And then at the back there is that sort of certificate-y looking thing. I dread to think what they are certified in, but okay. Now going up to the first floor showroom with the pieces in place, it looks like the sort of place that you might show things off to a more favoured customer. I may in the future add some kind of seat across the back. At the moment I'm happy enough with it, and I'm working with what I've got. I didn't buy a seat for that room, so we'll just leave it as it is. Obviously next step is the attic, so I'm going to go and sort the furniture out for that, and I'll come back and we can finish it all off. Got my bits of furniture made. Now when I was first thinking about turning this into a magical shop, I sort of decided that the attic room was going to be some kind of a consulting room. I wanted it, the sort of story behind this shop, to be that somebody had done some kind of ritual up there, maybe telling a fortune for somebody, trying to communicate with spirits or something, and things hadn't gone completely right. But I'm not sure that I can do justice to my original idea. I'm just going to leave it at that. So what I've decided is that the little attic room is going to be a sort of office, maybe a bit of fortune telling, and storeroom. And with that in mind, I've made this lovely bureau. It's a bureau writing desk, lots of drawers. They're fake drawers, which does mean that I can't have little bits coming out of them and that kind of thing, but that's by the by. And then I've also got a little table. This is the card table, and a chair, and I'm going to make it look as if somebody is reading some cards on there. I've also made some cardboard boxes. These are just simple cardboard boxes. I just made a little square frame, stuck it onto another piece which has formed the top, and then glued them together. There's no bottoms to them, it doesn't matter. It's just going to put in there, give this sort of image that there's things stored, and as will these. These are some little wooden pieces that came out of something, and I've just I've just coloured the sides that were a bit lighter with markers, and then I've stuck some little labels on, so it looks like there's some kind of crate, and they'll just be piled up in one part of the room or another. So what I'm going to make for this is I'm going to make some loose papers that I'm going to stick onto the desk, piled up on the top, maybe a couple of pieces on the sort of writing part. So it looks a bit chaotic. And then I'm going to have a go at making the image of somebody reading some cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put probably 3 tiny little pieces on there that look like they're face down, and then a little tiny pile, so it looks like there's more there. Again, I'm just using paper, some markers, and we're just going to do a little bit of smoke and mirrors to make it look a bit more like there's something going on. I've done my little bits with some paper. The desk is now covered in piles of paper. Looks very untidy. All I did was I took a strip of copy paper and I coloured it using distress ink. I've got the markers, they're not available anymore, which is a shame. This is antique linen, which is my favourite one for doing old paper rather than old paper. You can still get the inks, but you have to buy them as pads. I've got a few more pieces as well that I'm going to scatter on the floor so it looks like they've just fallen down. And then I've done my mock cards on the card table. 3 cards ready to be read, and then the pile of cards set off to one side. It's really simple. It is just another scrap of paper that's been coloured with an alcohol marker in this case, and then they're stacked together and glued and just glued into place, but it looks effective and I think it's going to work. So now I'm going to stick the pieces into the attic. I'm going to see if I can do it on camera. I need to move these pieces out of the way so I can get this into shot. There's that. That's not too bad. I just don't want to lose my little pieces off the floor. And I'm going to start off with the bit that's going at the back, which is going to be the desk. And all that I do is I put a bit of glue onto the lowest part of the furniture. So I'm putting my desk right by the door, like that. Now to get the pieces on the floor, I'm not 100% sure where I want them. I've got no plan to it, so I'll just put a bit of glue there. And if I can pick the piece of paper up, I'll pop that down. I'll get another little bit of glue and I'll put one there. And maybe the other one by it. And again, it's just a case of sticking these pieces into place. As you can see why I don't tend to do this on camera, because fingers really get in the way at this scale. Now the other side at the back, I'm going to put these little crates, as I'm calling them, and again just a bit of glue. I want to put one back sort of in contact with the wall, put that one in front of it, and then this one I want it an angle, so I'll put some glue on the back of it and hopefully catch it against there. Yeah. I want to put the table sort of central. This is kind of my main feature, so to speak. So I'm going to put the table sort of in the middle of the room. And then chair like that. Yeah, chair like that. I have already added the bits, certainly the furniture bits, not so much the extra bits, but I add the furniture in so I can sort of decide whether I like the look. And then I think I'm going to put my pile of boxes sort of in the front. I may add some more boxes later, I'm not sure. May add some more boxes over this side so it looks a bit more storeroomish. Put a good blob of glue in the middle of that lot and we'll put it there. And with that, I think I'm happy with my storeroom. Now if I turn this so that you can actually get a better view of the room from front on, I'm not displeased with it. I quite like how this has come together. And here we have my finished, for now, interior of number 13. I didn't know what I was going to do with this when I got the kit. It was the sort of only one out of the Dead End set that I didn't have an idea for, but it's actually come out really, really well. I like my shop, my showroom, and of course my attic. Bit of an office, bit of a storeroom, bit of a bitzer, but I'm really pleased with it. I really have enjoyed working on this, and I'm looking forward to doing the rest of the street. I've got another 2 for the moment. I will be getting more. You can count on that. If you've enjoyed this build, and more importantly this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Maybe consider ringing the notification bell. If you want to, then you'll know when I upload. It's most weeks, normally on a Friday, but I don't promise anything because such is life. But until my next 1/48th scale adventure, or in fact my next mini adventure of any kind, bye!